Hello and welcome to my channel, The Danish Readaholic. Today, I look like a mess. But that is because I am doing a bookshelf tour, so you won't actually see me for most of the video. So I decided to just look like a mess. Decision. I'm just gonna get started. Normally people would probably take like from the top and going down. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go from the bottom and up because the books that I'm trying to hide are like at the bottom. So we'll start with those, get them out of the way, and then I'll show you the rest and also the decor that is on my shelves. So I'm sorry for this angle, but it's as low as my tripod is gonna get. I debated what to do with this bookshelf tour because some people take every book out and show what books there are. Other people show like the shelves and then pinpoint some special ones, and I decided that I'm gonna take every single book and show it to you, simply because I do have a lot of books. I have 230 something, but eventually I'm gonna get more books and then the bookshelf tours will only get longer. So I figured for a first bookshelf tour I'm gonna show you everything that is on the shelves. Let's just get started. So this is my adult shelf, a mixed adult, and I rarely touch it, honestly. And yeah, I think this is also the shelf with the least read books on. Dreams and Shadows, A Dark Place to Be by C. Robert Cargill. A Million Little Pieces by James Frey. Lord of Flies by William Golding. The Ocean at the End of the Lane. Trigger Warning. Norse Mythology. And American Gods, all by Neil Gaiman. Pulse by Michael Harvey. The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. The Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver. Into the Wild by John Krakauer. The Horse Dancer by Jojo Moyes. Me Before You and After You, both by Jojo Moyes. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup. The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. The Rosy Result by Gramey Simpson. The Help by Catherine Stockett. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. The Chronicles of Thomas Compton, The Unbeliever by Stephen Donaldson. And The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. Now we move on to the next shelf, and now there's a little bit of decor on there, so I'm going to talk about that first. So I have my little candle, as you can see here. It's called Treat Your Shelf, and it is cinnamon and apple, and it's by Ruthless Heroines. Unfortunately, they don't do candles anymore, so now I just treasure the ones that I have even more. Then I have my Mary Poppins Funko Pop from Mary Poppins Returns, and this is one of two that I have, and I really like them. Unfortunately, this one is a little bit rocky. Her body can't really hold her head, so I have to adjust her from time to time, which is why I eventually just decided to put her at the bottom shelf. This is my contemporary shelf. This is what Happy looks like by Jennifer E. Smith. I Was Here by Gail Foreman. Struck by Lightning by Chris Colfer. 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. The Kissing Booth and The Kissing Booth 2, Going the Distance, both by Beth Reckles. To All the Boys I've Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You, and Always and Forever Laura Jean, all by Jenny Han. One Night in Italy by Lucy Diamond. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. This Is Where It Ends by Marika Niekamp. We Used to Be Friends by Amy Spalding. And Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. So that was this shelf. Let's move on to the next one, and the most chaotic. When I say chaotic, I mean chaotic. There's no theme to this shelf, so I'm just gonna show you all of the books. De Gamle Molbo-historier. Illustrated Classics. Elektriske Heidi by Elizabeth Gerlof Nielsen. The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. The Curious Incident of the Dog at the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Smertens Barn by Mette Finderup. The Breadwinner by Deborah Ellis. Pigen, der ville kede sig ihjel by Trine Dyrholm. Fairy Tales by Hans Christian Andersen. 1001 Nats Eventyr. I'm gonna have to hold this because it will not go on the shelf. This is the Hunchback of Notre and it is like a children's illustrated book. Julemandens Død by Kenneth Bøgh Andersen. The Strange Library by Haruki Murakami. Our Numbered Days by Neil Hilborn. You Get So Alone at Times That It Just Makes Sense by Charles Bukowski. Prince, The Man Behind the Revolution by Jason Draper. The Worry Trick by David A. Carbonell. A Column of Fire by Ken Follett. 500 Hidden Secrets of London by Tom Gregg. Ser du månen, Daniel by Puk Damsgaard. Liv og Død by Jørgen Lange Thomsen. Jeg som anklager by Jakob Buch Jebsen. Drabschefen by Ove Dahl. And Drabscheferne by Kurt Krag and Ove Dahl. And that is it for this shelf. The last book is my boyfriend, so I'm not going to show that. So the next row of shelves are a little bit easier to do since they're completely empty. So I'm just going to go through the items that are on here, which is going to be quick, and then we're going to move. First, I have this little fake bonsai tree. Let me just show you. I paid absolutely nothing for this, which is why the quality isn't the best, but I still like it. So then I have this bird that I got when I graduated, what would be equivalent to high school, I think. I'm not sure. And this is the Danish graduation cap, and then you could actually buy it to go along with the bird. I got this from one of my very good friends. I got the snow globe. Let's just flip it. And it's supposed to be Buddha. It was really pretty and I got it from my mom. I have this frame thing that I got some time ago. It just says happy mind, happy life, and I like it. And so far there's room for it on my shelf, so it is on my shelf. There we go. So the next shelf here, I am not gonna go through the books on the shelf simply because they are old and all of them are in Danish. I'm just gonna show you the book that is already turned out, but first I want to talk a little bit about the decor. I got these from my mom. She works at like a interior design place and she had gotten these for herself and I thought they were really cute and I would want some as well. So I got this one and then the other one. And then all of the books on the shelf are by Greta Stevns, who is, I think she's actually Norwegian. I got the books from my late grandmother and that is why they're out on display. So that is basically that shelf. Let's move on so we can get this row done. As you can see, there's not that much on this shelf either. I have these two big black woven boxes. One of them has a bunch of musical, emotional things that I've collected over the years, and the other has cards that I've received, so birthday cards, Christmas cards, anything really. Next to it I have this little wooden box that I've gotten from a friend, and on top of it I just have this little fairy and unicorn. And next to it there is like a class picture thing from when I was 6. That is the shelf. Let's move on. All of my books are organized by author last name. This is the end of it, basically. So let me just go through the decor first. We have this little family of Pegasus. So this is the first one I got and I love it. And then this one, which is probably my favorite because it's so pretty. And the little kid. Then I have, surprise, surprise, a scented candle. This one smells like morning mist. Then I have another candle. This is not a scented one. This is just a cute one. And I like this little container that it was in. So yeah. And then I have these two secret books that I'm just gonna keep there. Night Spinner by Addie Thorley. This Golden Flame by Emily Victoria. Øglehjerne by Camilla Vendale. Below by Alexandria Warwick. The Puppet Boy of Warsaw by Eva Weaver. The Light Between Worlds by Laura E. Weymouth. Crave by Tracy Wolff. Fable by Adrian Young. That was it for this shelf. Let's move on to the next. The next shelf I have is my Barnes & Noble collectible shelf. As you can see, there isn't that many yet. As for decor, I have my little Mary Poppins Funko Pop. She is probably my favorite Funko that I have. And now when I remove the trinket dish, A Christmas Carol is gonna fall. It didn't. I'm so surprised. I got this trinket dish that says practically perfect in every way, and I got this actually from Primark. Let's get on to the books. A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Beauty and the Beast and Other Classic Fairy Tales. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, a treasury of best-loved fairy tales. And that was this shelf. Let's move on. So here on the next shelf, as you can see, once again, it's only decor. So over here we have a picture that right there. That is my parents when they got married. I love to have that on my shelf. Next up, I have this tin from Fairy Loot. I use it to store names in for my You're Not Good Enough book tag. So yeah, there's a bunch of notes in here. Then I have these pretty flowers just standing there. They are obviously fake because I cannot take care of plants. And at the end here is another trinket dish that I got around Christmas time from my mom. Let's move on. Now we are at another of my mostly fantasy shelves. As of decor on the shelf, I only have this little mug with bookmarks in it. Let's get on with it. The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna, Spectrum by Nana Foss, These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, Tiger's Curse and Reawakened, both by Colleen Hook, Goddess in the Machine by Laura Beth Johnson, Master of One by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett, The Storm Crow by Kaylin Josephson, The Diabolic, The Empress and the Nemesis, all by S.J. Kincaid, Forest of Souls by Laurie M. Lee, Furyborn by Claire Legrand, The Grey Shear by Kim Liggett, Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and Throne of Glass, both by Sarah J. Maas. Let's move on to the next. So as you can see, there's another rather empty shelf here. Let's go through the decor first. We have this little Mickey Funko Pop. Then I have this little crystal thing. And in here it says my star sign. Then I have the Wicked Hearts playing cards displayed. I will be using them eventually for my TBR game. And then there are some more fake flowers that I'm not gonna take out. Graceling, Winter Keep, and obviously both books are by Kristen Kishore. Eventually this shelf will be all Graceling. Now we move on to the big dark shelf. As of decor on this shelf, I have this empty jar that used to be a candle and now I just display it. I will be getting some glitter, putting it in there just for the sake of putting glitter in there. I also have this puzzle that I never take apart because it takes me hours. Not hours, but it takes me too long to get it back together again. Let's get to the books. Kingdom of the Wicked by Karen Maniscalco, Renegades by Marissa Meyer, Circe by Madeline Miller, Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik, East by Edith Patu, Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessel, There Will Come a Darkness by Katie Rose Poole, Bone Cries Moon by Catherine Purdy, These Rebel Waves, and Snow Like Ashes, both by Sarah Roche, Ash Lords by Scott Rieken, Fire and Flood by Victoria Scott, Timekeeper by Tara Sim, Circle of Shadows by Evelyn Sky, An Ember in the Ashes, Torch Against the Night, A Reaper at the Gates, and A Sky Beyond the Storm, all by Saba Tahir, Star Daughter by Sveta Thakra, and Rhapsodic by Laura Telasa. And let's continue moving on to the next shelf. So this is my next shelf, and if you could see my setup now, you would be laughing. So first I have my Funko Pop of, I cannot remember his name, but the guy from The Greatest Showman. I have these two little birds that I got as a graduation gift as well, with the other bird, but from a different person. Now let's get on to the books. Light as a Feather, Silent as a Grave, and Cold as Marble, all by Zoe Arson. Children of Blood and Bone by Tony Adeyemi. The Frost Eater by Carol Beth Anderson. Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis. Grace and Fury and Queen of Ruin, both by Tracy Banghart. Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising, all by Lee Bardugo. Heart of Thorns by Bree Barton. Girl Serpent Thorn by Melissa Bashadust. Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Bayron. The Traitor's Kiss by Erin Beatty. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. The Darkest Minds and Lore, both by Alexandra Bracken. Romanoff by Nadine Brandis. As Old as Time by Liz Braswell. Let's move on to the next shelf. Here we have my graphic novel shelf. It is still small, still growing, but I love it. So let's just look at the decor. We have this little ceramic thing with some more bookmarks in them. Then I have another candle by Ruthless Heroines. Then I have my two secret books, and they're just here to make sure that the graphic novels doesn't fall. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina by Robert Aguirre Sacasa, Monstrous by Marie Lu, and Menneskesøn by Peter Messen. Some more of my little bit darker shelves. So I have this little decor piece from a fairy loot. I don't remember what it was, but it was the Greek fairy loot. And then I have this little monkey that I got from my brother, or I think initially my brother got it from me and then I got it from him. So now it sits on my shelf. Let's get into the books. Once Upon a Dream, On Birthday, Straight On Till Morning, and A Whole New World, all by Liz Braswell. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Season of the Witch, Daughter of Chaos, Path of Night, all by Sarah Rees Brennan. The Bunker Diary by Kevin Brooks. Let It Go by Jen Calanita. The Never Tilting World by Rin Chupeco. The Last Namsara by Kristen Cicerelli. City of Bones and City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. Ready Player One by Ernst Klein. The Hunger Games by Susan Collins. Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. Mirage by Sumaya Daoud. The Raven and the Dove by Caitlin Davis. Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Fassel. And Shielded by Caitlin Flanders. So for this last bit, I am standing next to you, so if it's a little bit wobbly, I am sorry. The decor. I have these little elephants. I'm only going to show you one and then I'm just going to move them. That I got from my aunt when she went to, this must have been, oh, I don't remember, but she travels a lot, so I got these from one of her trips. There's also my pin banner that I'm just going to take down so that I don't knock it over. And my little fairy. She's cute. Let's get started on the books, shall we? Seraphina and the Black Cloak by Robert Beatty. Wonderscape by Jennifer Bell. City of the Plague God by Sarah Chadha. The School Years of The School for Good and Evil. We have The School for Good and Evil, A World Without Princes, The Last Ever After, The School for Good and Evil, The Camelot Years, Quest for Glory, and A Crystal of Time, all by Suman Chanani. Another edition of The School for Good and Evil, Quest for Glory by Suman Chanani. Arusha and the End of Time, and Arusha and the Song of Death, both by Roshni Chokski. The Isle of the Lost, Return to the Isle of the Lost, Rise of the Isle of the Lost, all by Melissa de la Cruz. Mary Underwater by Shannon Dolsky. The Breadwinner series by Deborah Ellis. The Breadwinner, Parvana's Journey, Mud City, and My Name is Parvana. Rumblestar by Abby Elphinstone. Coraline by Neil Gaiman. Ice Wolves by Amy Kaufman. The Mystic School of Musicraft by Jessica Corey. The Strange Worlds Travel Agency by L.D. Lipinski. The Spirit Animal series, Wildborn by Brandon Mull. And Hunted by Maggie Stiefvater. A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. The Roselille series by Josefine Ottesen. Roselille og hendes venner. Roselille og Blomstergrin. Roselille og den lille drage. Bridge to Terabithia by Catherine Patterson. Almost at the finish line, guys. Next up, we have my Chris Colfer shelf. As of decor on the shelf, I have this little fairy that I got in Italy. I really like her. I used to collect these and I'm kind of sad now that I gave them away. So then I have this little egg. It's supposed to look like one of those really expensive ones, but obviously it isn't. Let's get to the books. The Land of Story series, The Wishing Well, The Enchantress Returns, A Grim Warning, Beyond the Kingdoms, An Author's Odyssey, and Worlds Collide, all by Chris Colfer. Queen Red Riding Hood's Guide to Royalty, and The Mother Goose Diaries by Chris Colfer. And finally, The Land of Stories, The Ultimate Book Hugger's Guide by Chris Colfer. Here we have the final shelf, and it is a much more decor than it is books. And this will be very quick since I'm not taking the Harry Potter books out. So let's go through the decor. I have a mini Thestral that I got secondhand. I have yet another candle. Then we have a Harry Potter Funko Pop that I also got secondhand, and a miniature Hagrid Funko Pop that I also got secondhand. Then I have this gorgeous, gorgeous unicorn that I just love, and a miniature version of the unicorn as well. Or not a miniature version, but like a baby. I'm not gonna take the big box down, but basically I have a bunch of stuff that I don't know where to put. So I have like the wooden spoons that I've gotten in Fairy Loot, and I have this little, let me show you, have this little star sign book that I got from my brother. The roll over there is a story that my friend wrote me, and I have some extra chapters and annotated chapters from fairy loot boxes, and my lighter. Let's get to the books. Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan. Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. I know I put the wrong candle up there, but I don't really care. I'm gonna do the outro now. So the last little bit I forgot to film, so I'm just quickly gonna show you. And I'm filming like this, so I hope it's okay. And I'm sorry for the mess. So this is like my TBR. So we have, this is A Tale of Magic by Chris Colfer. An Ember in the Ashes by Seba Tahir. Blood Era by Amelie Vinsau. Onyx and Ivory by Mindy Arnett. Pawn by Angela J. Ford. And Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. And then if we move down here, I have this little stack that I just thought looked pretty. So we have The Sun and Her Flowers by Ruby Kawa and Milk and Honey by Ruby Kawa. Then we have Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari and Quiet by Susan Cain. And that is it on my card. I don't know how to use it properly yet. So yeah. So that was my bookshelf tour. Don't have much to say. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment telling me which books you think are missing from my shelves. And if you like this video, please hit the like icon. And if you want to see more of my bookish content, please hit subscribe. It will mean the world to me. And until I see you next time, bye!